Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are breaking down a brand new AI video tool from Alibaba that isn't just some small update. We're talking about a free, open-source motion cloner that is so powerful it might just completely change the game for creators and animators everywhere.
And let's just kick things off with this pretty bold claim from our source material, because it really gets to the heart of what this tech can do. We're not just talking about little tweaks to a video. We're talking about a tool that can fundamentally transform it from the ground up.
So what is this tool that's making all this noise? It's called One Animate. And it's an open-source project from Alibaba, which is huge. That means not only can you peek under the hood and see how it works, but you can use it right now completely for free.
Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. What can this thing actually do? Well, One Animate is definitely not a one-trick pony. It's got two main features, and both of them are incredibly powerful.
First up, we have something called Photo Animate, and the idea behind it is just wild. You feed it one single static picture of a character, could be a photo of a person, a drawing, you name it, and then you give it a separate video. The AI uses that video to make your still image move, talk, and show emotion.
And this is where it gets really, really cool. The level of detail is just insane. This isn't just some clunky puppet-like movement. The AI is smart enough to capture and transfer everything. We're talking subtle facial expressions, really complex hand and finger gestures, and it even copies the camera motion from the original video.
Okay, so that's Photo Animate. Now, the second core feature is called Character Swap, and this one kind of flips the script a bit. Instead of starting with a still photo, this one starts with a video that already exists and lets you replace someone in that scene.
I mean, this is where you can really see how smart this AI is. It doesn't just cut and paste a new character on top. No, it seamlessly blends them in by perfectly matching the lighting and the feel of the original scene. And what's amazing is how flexible it is. It works just as well with anime or Pixar-style characters as it does with real human beings. So, I know what you're thinking. This sounds awesome, but how do I actually use it? Well, the good news is you've got two main ways to get your hands on it, and they're designed for different people with different setups.
So you've got two paths here, and it really comes down to convenience versus, unlimited power. On one side, you've got the online version. Super easy. You just open it in your browser, you don't need a beast of a computer, and they give you free credits every day. On the other side is the offline version. It takes a little setup, and you'll need a decent graphics card, a GPU with at least 6 gigs of VRAM. That's the dedicated memory for this kind of visual stuff. But the payoff? It's completely free with zero limits.
Now, for those of you who hear offline setup and immediately think it's going to be a huge pain, don't worry. The open source community, being awesome as always, has already figured out a way to make the whole process way, way simpler.
Yeah, our source doesn't pull any punches here. They say the typical interfaces for this stuff, like the popular one called Comfy UI, look, and I quote, pretty scary and not beginner-friendly. And honestly, they're not wrong. It's usually a tangled web of boxes and lines.
But, and this is the best part, you can just skip all of that. A developer created a really simple, clean web interface that gives you all the power without any of the headache. It basically takes that horrifying mess and turns it into a simple form you just fill out.
Look, we're not going to do a full step-by-step tutorial here, but the basic idea behind this simple install really just breaks down into 4 main chunks. You get your computer ready with a couple of standard tools, you download the simplified interface, you create a little self-contained bubble for all the software to live in, and then you run one command to start it. It's so much more straightforward. Okay, so all of this is cool, but let's get to the real question here. In a world with a ton of AI video tools popping up, why is this one such a big deal? What makes One Animate a true game changer?
I mean, just look at this. When you put it side by side with a big paid name like Runway Gen 2, the difference is just wow. One Animate is free and open. Runway is a paid subscription. But the part that's really shocking, according to the source, is the quality. They call One Animate by far the most accurate and consistent.
So the big takeaway here isn't just that One Animate is a free option, it's that it might be the better option, period. It apparently delivers more accurate results than the tools you have to pay for, it's more flexible with different art styles, and it can run on pretty modest hardware. This is a tool that demolishes both the money barrier and the tech barrier to creating high-quality animation.
And that leaves us with this huge, kind of mind-blowing question. Now that the tools to make professional-looking animations are totally free and available to anyone with a half-decent computer, what happens next? What does this mean for creators? The barrier to entry isn't just lower, it's pretty much gone.